The United States is reportedly growing more dismissive of the European Union after the bloc failed to agree on a plan to use frozen Russian assets to support Ukraine. According to a recent report by a British news magazine, Washington now views the EU as divided, ineffective, and unable to act decisively on major global issues. The disagreement centres on billions of euros belonging to Russia's central bank. These funds were frozen by Western countries following the escalation of the Ukraine conflict. Most of the assets are held within Europe, making the EU a key decision-maker in how or whether they could be used. For many months, EU leaders debated the idea of using these frozen Russian funds as collateral for a special loan to Ukraine. The proposal was often described as a reparations-style arrangement, designed to help Kiev cover rising military and economic costs. Despite long discussions and intense pressure from some member states, the plan ultimately failed. During a high-level meeting on Friday, EU governments were unable to reach a unanimous agreement on moving forward with the asset-backed loan. Instead, EU leaders chose a different approach. They agreed to raise joint debt to provide Ukraine with financial support totaling around 90 billion euros over the next 2 years. This decision shifts the burden directly onto EU taxpayers, with estimates suggesting annual costs of about 3 billion euros starting in 2028. The failure to secure agreement on the Russian asset plan is said to have deepened frustration in Washington. The British outlet reported that US officials see the EU's inability to act after prolonged debate as further proof that the bloc lacks unity and influence. The report suggested that US policymakers believe the EU's internal disagreements make it easier for Washington to sideline Brussels when making strategic decisions. This perception aligns with past comments by US President Donald Trump, who has repeatedly criticized the EU. In a recent interview, he described European nations as weak and claimed they are struggling to manage key challenges, including migration. Recent developments suggest that the US may already be acting on this assessment. According to media reports, the Trump administration has held direct, behind-the-scenes discussions with individual EU member states rather than relying solely on Brussels. These contacts reportedly played a role in shaping opposition to the asset seizure plan. Countries including Italy, Bulgaria, Malta, and the Czech Republic were said to have resisted the proposal during Friday's summit, contributing to its collapse. This approach highlights